My mother's text glowed on my phone screen, each word a quiet jab. Asterisk, we think it's best if you skip the party this year, Emma. We want peace and calm for once. Asterisk, then another. Your sister Kate is bringing her new fiancé, and we don't want any tension. I stared at the message, memories of 15 years of parties flickering through my mind. 15 years of hosting lavish celebrations in my restored Victorian home, of crafting meals that took days to plan, of decorating every corner to weave the perfect holiday spell. All dismissed with a single text. I'm Emma Sullivan, 38, and I'd just been uninvited from my family's holiday celebration, the one I'd hosted since I was 23. The irony stung. They wanted to gather in Kate's cramped apartment instead of my spacious home, the one they'd once called too extravagant, too ambitious for a single woman. Perfect, I typed back, my fingers steady despite the ache in my chest. Enjoy your holidays. My mother's reply was instant. Asterisk, don't be difficult, Emma. You know how intense you can get. Kate wants a simple celebration this year. Asterisk intense. That's what they called my devotion to detail, my passion for making moments unforgettable. When I restored this old Victorian house single-handedly, they called it intense. When I turned my baking hobby into a thriving online cooking channel, they called it intense. When I created holiday celebrations that had neighbors buzzing all year, they called it intense. I set my phone down and scanned my living room. The holiday tree wasn't up yet, it was only November 30th, but I could already envision it. The handmade ornaments I'd collected over years, the vintage decorations I'd lovingly restored, the cherished angel that always crowned the tree. My phone buzzed again. Asterisk, Emma, you're not upset, are you? We just think it's Kate's turn to host. She's engaged now, and Mark's family is very traditional. Asterisk, traditional. As if my sister, who switched careers every 2 years, was traditional. As if my parents, who'd never hosted a holiday themselves, were traditional. I opened my banking app, a smile tugging at my lips. No worries at all, I replied. I have other plans, and I did plans I'd been crafting for months, plans that would make this holiday unforgettable, though not in the way my family expected. The next morning, I made 2 calls. First, to my friend Olivia, who ran the local children's home. Everything's set, she said, her voice brimming with excitement. The kids can't wait. Are you sure about this, Emma? More sure than ever, I replied, my heart warming at the thought of what was coming. The second call was to my agent. Yes, I had an agent now, another thing my family dismissed as intense. The contract signed, she confirmed. The Food Network loved your holiday special pitch. Filming starts next week. I hung up as 3 more texts from my mother arrived, each more probing than the last. Asterisk, what other plans? You always host Christmas. Are you going somewhere? Emma, answer me. Asterisk, I silenced my phone and opened my planning notebook, the one Kate had mocked last holiday as obsessive while I orchestrated the perfect festive meal. This year, it held a different vision, one far grander. The doorbell rang, pulling me from my thoughts. Mrs. Anderson, my neighbor, stood there clutching a tin of cookies. Emma, dear, I heard from your mother at the market. Is it true you're not hosting this year? The whole neighborhood lives for your celebrations. I smiled, taking the tin. Don't worry, Mrs. Anderson. The party isn't canceled. It's just going to be different this year. Very different. As I closed the door, another text from Kate lit up my phone. Asterisk, Mom's worried you're mad. Don't be dramatic, sis. You know how overwhelming your Christmases can get. Mark's family likes things simple. Asterisk, I ran my finger down my notebook's carefully curated list. Simple wasn't in my vocabulary, and this holiday would show why that wasn't a flaw. My family wanted peace. They'd have it, along with a lesson in what they'd taken for granted. The next 2 weeks were a whirlwind. While my family sent prying texts about my plans, I transformed my Victorian home into a wonderland. The Food Network crew arrived, their cameras capturing every moment as I adorned each room with a unique theme. This, I told the camera, gesturing to the towering tree in my living room, is our wish tree. Every ornament holds a child's holiday dream. The producer wiped away tears as I showed her the handwritten wishes from the children's home, each one crafted into a delicate decoration. My phone buzzed relentlessly. Kate's messages grew sharp. Asterisk mom says you're not even answering about dinner preferences. Are you trying to make me look bad? Asterisk I smiled, recalling how she'd called last year's traditional holiday feast showing off. Now my absence was apparently just as inconvenient. The local news caught wind of my plans. Local chef partners with children's home for holiday miracle. My mother called immediately. Emma, what's this article? Are you doing this to spite us? No, Mom, I said calmly, watching volunteers set up an outdoor light display. I'm doing this because while you're chasing peace, 30 children from the home have never known a real holiday celebration. The silence on her end spoke volumes. But what about family? She finally stammered. Exactly, Mom. What about family? My father tried next, his gruff voicemail almost comical. Asterisk princess, your sister's upset. She thinks you're stealing attention from her engagement. Can't you just come to her apartment for a quiet dinner instead of whatever this is? Asterisk, I was reviewing final plans with Olivia when Kate appeared unannounced. She stood in my foyer, eyes wide, taking in the transformation. What is all this? The house was breathtaking. The dining room was set for 35 children and staff. The living room glowed with the wish tree's radiance. The kitchen hummed, ready for cookie-making lessons. This, I said, gesturing broadly, is what a holiday should be. Not peace and quiet, but joy and giving. Kate's gaze lingered on a Food Network fan outside. Is that? It is, I said. Turns out my intense approach to the holidays is exactly what they wanted. The special airs on Christmas Eve. Her face flushed. So this is about showing us up, making us look bad for wanting a simple family Christmas? I handed her a folder filled with photos and stories of each child who'd celebrate here, their holiday wishes detailed within. No, Kate. This is about giving these kids the holiday they deserve, the kind of magic I used to create for our family before it became too much. She flipped through the pages, her expression softening. Emma, you should go, I said gently. You have your simple party to plan. Mark's traditional family is waiting. After she left, Olivia squeezed my arm. Your sister looked stunned. She's not the only one who'll be surprised, I replied, checking my notebook one last time. Everything was aligning perfectly. That evening, my mother called again. Emma, honey, we've been thinking. Maybe we were hasty about Christmas. Your house has always been perfect for hosting. Sorry, Mom, I cut in, but everything's set. The children's home is counting on me, and the Food Network has their schedule locked. You and Kate enjoy your peaceful Christmas. I'll be creating magic here. I could sense her recalculating, realizing their simple party wouldn't hold a candle to what was unfolding. But we're family, she tried once more. Yes, I said, watching volunteers place more decorations. And sometimes family needs to learn that peace isn't about exclusion. It's about embracing what makes each of us unique. Another text from Kate arrived. Asterisk, I showed Mark the folder. He wants to know if you need volunteers for the children's celebration. Asterisk, I smiled, adding his name to my list. Maybe some traditions were worth keeping, just not as my family had imagined. Christmas Eve arrived, snow blanketing my Victorian home like a scene from a storybook. The Food Network crew captured every moment as children from the home arrived, their eyes wide with wonder. Welcome to holiday magic, I greeted each one, their awe warming my heart. The house surpassed even my dreams, every room sparkled. Each space crafted to forge lasting memories. My phone had been quiet lately. After Mark volunteered, something shifted. He'd spent evenings helping set up, clearly moved by the scale of it all. Your sister talks about simple celebrations, he'd said one night, but this is what a holiday should be. The special aired at 7 p.m. I was too busy with the children to watch, but Olivia kept me posted on the social media frenzy. Our small town trended as viewers nationwide shared their emotional reactions to the children's wishes coming true. At 8 p.m., the doorbell rang. Kate stood there, tears streaking her face. I watched the special, she whispered. Emma, we were wrong. All these years, we called you intense when you were just magical. Behind her stood my parents, looking humbled. My mother clutched her handkerchief, my father transfixed by the joyful scene through my windows. The way those children look at you, my mother said softly, it's how you used to look when planning our holidays, before we started saying it was too much. I stood in the doorway, watching them take it all in. Children decorating cookies in the kitchen, singing echoing from the living room, happiness radiating from every corner. Peace comes in many forms, I said. Sometimes it's quiet, but sometimes it's the chaos of joy. My father stepped forward, pulling me into a hug. Princess, we forgot what a holiday means. Can you forgive us? Before I could respond, a young girl from the home ran up. Miss Emma, come quick. Tommy found his wish ornament. I smiled at my family. Want to see what real holiday magic looks like? They followed me inside, where Tommy, a shy 8-year-old, clutched his ornament, hands trembling. Inside was a note. He'd been approved for adoption, and his new family was here to surprise him. As Tommy fell into their arms, tears filled every eye in the room. The Food Network crew captured it all as my mother gripped my hand. This is what you do, she whispered. You make dreams come true. Kate joined the children, helping with cookies, while Mark led carols. My father, usually reserved, was surrounded by kids eager for his stories, his gruffness melting away. Later, in a quiet moment, my mother found me. When we said we wanted peace, we thought it meant something simple. But this, she gestured to the joy-filled rooms, this is real peace, watching dreams come true, seeing love in action. That's all I ever wanted, I said. Every holiday, every celebration was about making magic real. The evening wound down with hot chocolate and carols. The children, tired but glowing, returned to the home, except Tommy, who left with his new family. The Food Network crew packed up, promising this would become a holiday tradition. As my family prepared to leave, Kate hugged me tightly. Our simple party tomorrow seems silly now. Any chance your intense sister and her magical house could host instead? I laughed, pulling out my notebook. I might have planned for that possibility. My father chuckled. Of course you did, princess. You always think of everything. Christmas Day found my family back in my home, celebrating as we always had. But this time, there were no critiques of my intense planning, no complaints of excess. Instead, there was gratitude for the magic my attention to detail created, an understanding that the grandest gestures can bring the deepest peace, and a recognition that family means celebrating what makes each person extraordinary. As we sat down to dinner, my mother raised her glass. To Emma, she said, who showed us that peace isn't found in simplicity, but in the joy of creating magic for others. I smiled, looking at my transformed family. Sometimes, the best gifts come wrapped in unexpected lessons.